Hey, I'm Jackson Downs. I'm Commissioner of the Bentley Putt Association, and I'll be reviewing Week 3 of the Bentley Putt Association matchups and starting Week 4. So we'll start with our marquee matchup of the week, Jackson visiting Matt, and Matt made a huge statement taking down the undefeated Jackson, coming back from 1-0 down to win 2-1, and especially after a loss in Week 1, he continues to roll. He also set the record for longest missed shot with 38 feet. So if we can give a nice round of applause. He did win though, and he set a record, so that's usually pretty good. Next, we move on to the battle of the winless between David and Jacob. And David could not handle the road experience, losing 2-0 to Jacob on the same turn, on the same consecutive shots. A crazy, unimaginable moment that we could only dream of at the Bentley Putt Association. The game was also momentarily stopped because a bitch RA came in. So there was that. Jacob moves up to 1-2. He now is in a good spot to contend for a playoff spot. David goes closer to the ultimate loser in a relegation. And then we had the rubber match of the week, the match I think that really was two underrated teams, kind of a rivalry match. Reardon visiting Mark, and Mark continues to dominate at home. I mean, this was actually, pardon me, this was Mark's first home game, but Mark the Road Warrior gets the job done in a difficult environment in Vermont. It's not easy to go up to Vermont, and Reardon can handle it. It was a 2-1 win for Mark. Mark moves to 3-0, and he's quickly looking like the favorite. I said that if I ever created a golf team, I would want Mark on my team. I think my scouting knowledge is quite impressive. I think he's the favorite. And leading into that, we can move into the matchups for next week. The first matchup we have, Jacob is visiting the red hot Matt. Both are coming off wins last week. Matt, though, at home, I think Matt's going to take that, and I think he'll be dominant. I'm going to go with a score 2-0 to Matt.
Oh, wow.
Next up, we have Mark at David. Mark has been quite good on the road, and David has been quite bad at home and away. He did hit one shot Week 1 against Reardon.
Everyone loves hitting shots against him.
So I'm gonna go for a crazy upset here and say that Mark only wins 2-1. Then we have the final match of the week. I would say arguably the most difficult to choose. We have Jackson at Reardon. Reardon has struggled lately. He's lost 2 consecutive games, 2-1. But if he wants to contend and be a playoff team, he's got to go in and win these crucial matchups against Jackson at home. I'm quite biased, so I cannot make this prediction. I'd like to think that Jackson would win because I have confidence in myself. So I'm going to say Jackson 2-1, but I think this is the most difficult matchup of the week. And yeah, as we trek closer to the playoffs, I'm going to do my power rankings for the week. So I think there's no doubt that at number 1, we have to put the 3-0 team. Mark has gotten the job done. As we see, he's beaten Matt, he's beaten Jacob, and he's beaten Reardon. So he's gone in and beaten 3. He hasn't even played David yet. He's 3-0. And even more impressive, he had a 2-0 win over Matt, who's looking like the red hot team. And honestly, due to that sort of form, I'm going to put Matt in my number 2 spot. I'm going to put Matt as my number 2 spot. I'll put Jackson as my number 3 spot. I'll put Jackson as my number 3 spot. That's how I think it's going to roll. Matt beat Jackson this week, obviously. Number 4, I'm going to have to go with Reardon because Reardon has had some close losses. Reardon's had some close losses to some top teams.
I've had an unfortunate loss. They scored like
I haven't lost by more than 1.
Neither have I.
Alright, fine.
And for the 5th spot, obviously this leaves Jacob. Jacob obviously also had some difficult losses. Unfortunately, I decided to put Jacob 5th because the game he lost to Mark.
He lost one.
What was a winnable game for both teams, as we can say, and that concludes.
And also add that I've been handicapped this entire time.
That is noted, and you can prove that next week with if you win at Matt next week, that will be a huge upset. And then that concludes my paragraph.
We got one more question. Give us your World Series teams and prediction going forward.
Do you want my hopefuls or my realistic, or do you want both?
You only have one choice.
So if you want me to be a little bit crazy, I'm gonna go with with Nationals Rays, but I know that's not going to happen. So we're going to go with Yankees Dodgers because everyone knows it's going to happen.
How many games and who wins?
I think it's going to go to 9 because the Dodgers will be up 4-3, but then the Dodgers can't win, so the Yankees will come back and the Yankees will win to 9. I'm really high on Chad Green. He's really been a solid pitcher for the team. I did used to get confuse him with the other white pitchers in the bullpen, like Adam Ottavino,
Yeah, you're blanking.
Tyler-
One more
Tyler
question here
Lyons.
from the reporter. How do you feel being a piece of shit commissioner?
So just because of the fact that I charged David with physical assault when he did actually attack Rudin, is I think justified. I think all the rules have been justified. I think the fact that I have created a constitution for the league is justified. And if you are disappointed, well, the NFL is Roger Goodell, all right, and I'm better than Roger Goodell. So once Roger Goodell leaves, all right, you can consider me to leave, but Roger Goodell's will be there forever. If you can get 7 people to who are part of the league to vote me out, then you can vote me out. Yes, I'm quite aware that there's only 6 people. So that's going to conclude.
No further questions.
That's going to conclude the Power Rankings this week. We'll see you next week. Hopefully I'm 3-1, and hopefully I'm in first place.
Well, that's you.
I'll see you then.